So I want to kind of transition. Obviously, you've been in this space for quite some time. Um, CEO, owner, team leader, started your own brokerage with Kraft and Bauer, but you also have diversified as well. And one thing that I loved on our previous conversation is you being able to work inside of your lane, inside of what you do day in and day out, being an owner, a CEO of a brokerage, etc. But also, you notice that there was a hole in the boat. You noticed that there was an opportunity for you to help the marketplace, for you to add value to the marketplace as far as from a real estate standpoint with real estate brokers, real estate agents. So I want to transition to, how did you really start a very innovative company, innovative idea called StackWrap, and really, it's a new online dashboard for real estate brokerages. And I want you to really enlighten us about, really what this is, what the software does. And for anyone that's maybe not a broker or a brokerage, or you don't own a brokerage, where you may not need per se the software, this is still very valuable to kind of hear this story from Max. Why? Because he saw a hole in the boat, he identified a problem, and then he plugged the problem, which is what we're doing with any type of investment that you choose to do, and that's how become successful. So I'm so interested in this story and the audience hearing it.
Oh man, thanks, Marco. So when I started my brokerage, right, you're an independent shop. You're kind of, you do whatever you want, but it's also very hard, right? For my agents, we offered them the CRM that of choice, which in our case was Follow Boss. We had DocuSign, we had Ylopo, we had Sisu, all of these amazing tools, but didn't have a great way to bring all of those tools into one spot. I wanted them to be able to talk to each other from a tool perspective. I wanted my agents to kind of single sign on into one cohesive ecosystem to access everything that, that I offered them as a brokerage. So built a very early version of StackWrap and launched it internally as just kind of a tool that my Craft and Bauer agents had access to. And it works super well. So about a year and a half after I launched it, I said, well, I mean, I'm probably not the only person on the planet that needs a better way to organize my tools. So turned it into a company that now is StackWrap. So it allows a team, a brokerage, an organization to bring all of their internal tech, tools, systems, workflows, into one spot and really organize things however you want that your agents or your employees or staff to interact with the tools. So, in a cohesive nutshell, that's what StackWrap is. But yeah, Marco, to your point, it was just, it was a vulnerability in my business that I recognized pretty early on because I was losing a lot of recruiting meetings, even though, I thought I had, offered my agents good stuff. It was just like, well, you kind of have to bookmark everything, right? There's a little bit of disorganization, but trust me, the tools are all great. Because, I wasn't converting, on my recruiting meetings early, like this is 2018, 2019, we were a very small and still growing company. But it was a vulnerability in my business that I knew I needed to address and ended up turning it into a standalone product.
I love that. Love it. And ultimately, like I said, you identify the problem, but by creating this tool, you've forced operational efficiency, right? You're giving your anyone that uses that particular tool, they're getting time back, right? Because they're not sourcing through multiple platforms to do the same job. It's all at their fingertips, which truly enables them to operate a little bit more efficiently and smooth in their processes, which then that is savings, if you will, right? That goes to the end user or to their clients, right? Which is going to be sellers and buyers, so that they can provide a more in-depth service, a more responsive service to them. So your software is truly an impact, to the real estate industry as a whole. So that's absolutely amazing.